All right, seats adjusted, and now pre-start check. It's nothing you haven't heard before. Chocks, plugs, covers, and cuffs removed. In other words, we walked around. We made sure that there's nothing that would prevent us from starting the engine and taxiing out. Doors closed, locked. Passengers briefed. All switches off, except the nav lights, and all breakers in. So this means all these switches up here are not in their detents. These two are centered. These are not in their detents. The only one that's in the detent is the nav light, because we want to show a nav light whenever power is applied to the bus in accordance with the aim. And so that's how we can comply with that.
And only that light for startup.
Yes, and the reason is you don't have a strobe, a red beacon. And the aim further says that if the aircraft is so equipped, it must be shown at night when the engine is running. But you don't have the light, so you're obviated from.
A strobe. Is this the tail strobe?
No, those are the wingtip strobes.
The wingtips. Where's the tails?
The tail strobe is, well, it's not a strobe, it's a light, and it's part of the nav lights.
Okay.
It's a white position light, which comes on with this.
Comes on with that, okay. All right, I get it. And the landing light is the lights out on the gears?
No, the landing light is on the nose, and, on this M600, yeah, they're on the gear, exactly. Okay. And the pulse and taxi are on the wingtips. Okay. Taxi is, as you may expect, on all the time, and pulse means they're blinking on and off. So taxi would be used for movement on the ground,
right,
and for landing at night, so that it's not distracting you. And the pulse would be used entering the runway environment and below 10,000 feet.
Right.
And then,
while you're up here, it's pulse, pitot heat, or pitot heat, pulse.
Well, let's say we're taking off on a day like today, a bright, clear, cool day. At the hold short line with the clearance, we would begin to clear the runway, taxi forward, turn on the pumps to manual, ignition to manual. Since today we have no threat of ice, we've come on only with pitot heat, because pitot heat has been, or lack thereof, has been killing pilots for 2 million years or so, plus or minus a few years. Pulse will come on. That's mostly for the birds, and it'll stay on until we're above 10,000. Above 10,000, pulse comes off, oxygen comes on. Landing light is on with a clearance. Nav lights are on whenever power is applied to the bus, and these guys are optional depending on when you need them. Threats would be displayed. Flaps would be set 10. Trims adjusted properly. Pressure for takeoff will be in, on, and set. And by set in the M600, I mean there is a destination in the flight plan. More about that later. Environmental would be set correctly, and your backup panel would be alive and well. And that's the flow. And said promptly, pumps, igniters, hots, lights, threats, flaps, trims, pressure, backups.
You said pressure 3 times.
Yeah, so pressure in, on, and set, meaning in the GTC.
I'm going to see that. Huh?
Yeah, so we're going to put in a destination, and when we do, the system will know the elevation that we need to be at 0 psi. And that's the flow.
Okay.